I call this meeting to order at 2 p.m.
All right, and if we could have land acknowledgement, Bertha?
Okay, so before we begin our meeting today, take a moment to acknowledge our land acknowledgement statement to remind us that we are in a land grab, not land grant. Associated Students Incorporation at Sacramento State would like to take a moment to give honor and respect to the ancestors and to the diverse indigenous people connected to this territory on which we meet. The original stewards of this land belong to the Misionan, Pakwin, and Miwok Native Americans. Keep them in your mind, carry them in your hearts, and we ask that you take a moment to consider your ancestors and your relationships to the land we are on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Natalie, if you can lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and Natalie, are there any moment of silences? All right, Harbir, if we can get the roll call.
Andrade Dominguez.
Present.
Bullis.
Here.
Barilla.
Here.
Tong.
Here.
Vega Castellanos.
Here.
Hernandez Hunter.
Present.
Torres.
Here.
Aguirre.
Here.
Draver.
Present.
Colin Vasquez.
Here.
Gani.
Here.
Jimenez.
Here.
Ambalia.
Here.
Hussein.
Yes.
Aver. Curry. Galato.
Here.
Jackson. Gill.
Here.
Masuli.
Here.
Dunning.
Here.
Atwell.
Here.
Rocha.
Here.
Okay, thank you. The next item is the approval of minutes for 9/13/2023 board meeting and 9/20/2023 working board meeting. If there are no objections, the minutes will be approved. All right, seeing none, the minutes are approved. Next, we have public comment. Members of the audience may address the board on any item within the jurisdiction of the board or any agenda item. If you wish to address the board, please sign the speaker identification sheet. When you are called upon to speak, step forward to the podium and state your name and major clearly for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes and the overall time is 15 minutes. Those wishing to speak on non-agenda items will be called upon at the beginning of the meeting. Those wishing to speak for or against an agenda item will be called upon after the item has been officially introduced to the board. Every agenda item will be open for public comment before the board takes formal action on the item. And you guys can go ahead and do the public comment whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, ASI. We are here today as Palestinians in diaspora. We've been marginalized and we've been silenced. We walk around campus where Arabs are flies on the wall with no recognition. Palestinians specifically have a bigger load to carry. Palestine isn't the indigenous land of my grandparents until a nightmare came storming through in 1948, firing, slashing, and burning. You guys might be aware of the Trail of Tears here in America. Well, ours is called the Nakba. We've been discriminated against and silenced. Palestinians and our allies suffer a great deal when speaking up against apartheid and settler colonialism. We do not feel supported, and we are done feeling this on campus. We have been called anti-Semitic in the name of being anti-Zionist. There are websites like Cameras on Campus and Canary Mission who post us without permission to slander our names, and when a background check is done, we are seen as anti-Semitic bigots and don't get hired. I've seen firsthand how this has affected my friends at other universities, and I am scared. We are all scared. The narrative has been so heavily propagated against the Palestinians, but we have a voice and it should be heard. Our police force in America gets sent over to Israel to be trained by the Israeli occupation forces, to which they bring back over what they learned and use against our people of color, specifically our black brothers and sisters. Where do you think they learned the knees on the neck? We feel unsafe and we are sick of living in fear. We are done being threatened into silence and we need to feel supported on campus. Our professors suffer the same fate. Any professor I've heard talk about Palestine, which is only 3 total, have danced around it so sensitively because they don't want to be threatened either. Canary Mission has gained so much threat as a doxing website that a whole professor denied being an advisor because of it. We have seen other universities in our very own America become so uncomfortably chummy with Israel and kick Palestinians to the curb to further feel unsafe and discriminated against. I have seen my friends at UC Berkeley fight for their free speech against the IRA definition of anti-Semitism until 2 a.m. Likewise at UC Davis, where I joined them in solidarity and spoke up against the racism and discrimination had on Palestinian students. I've seen my friends at SF State advocate for their Palestinian courses not being canceled due to the very alarmingly powerful Zionist lobby trying to control education. I'm sure you've already heard about the University of Illinois' Palestinian students suing as well. I've seen my friends at San Jose and Fullerton State and others pass resolutions for divestment and support for Palestinians. We are tired of the fear and silence that has been injected in us. It is not wrong to be against the financial investing of an apartheid state, or genocide, or colonialization, or harassment, and bombings, and raids. And I say enough is enough. Our existence is not controversial, and we are humans with rights. Even in the diaspora, we don't escape the colonizer's terror. We exist, we matter, we are here, and we have a voice. And we deserve to be protected and supported by our institution. We don't want to walk around feeling scared of harassment and argued over whether my life deserves human rights, whether I deserve a voice.
I wanted to add on to what she was us talking about, and I wanted to talk about my own experience first. When I was 10, as I experienced firsthand an Israeli occupation soldier putting a rifle up to my sister's head near our holy mosque, and I was 11 when I experienced with my own eyes somebody becoming a martyr to an Israeli bullet. I vividly remember every person in my village chanting and marching while holding the body of the martyr as I was watching from a rooftop, seeing spots of blood on the ground. With a background like that, the last thing I need to experience on campus is people seeming too afraid to stand up against occupation or fear Canary Mission. Going from students to professors and administrators, our space isn't as comforting as we want it to be all around, but better yet on campus where people are too afraid to learn about the Palestinian cause because of what our group has been deemed as by others.
Okay, is there any other public comment? All right, seeing none, we'll move to our next item. We have a special presentation from Kayla on how to work with SEO. Whenever you guys are ready. Sorry, from Kayla and Sasha.
Okay, you guys, this is my voice, so we're gonna get to like the highlights, but not like a deep dive. And Sasha will be doing the other portion of this presentation. And if my voice doesn't last, Sasha will do all of the presentation. Okay, so by show of hands, who here thinks they know what SEO does? Okay, wait, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should be able to put 2 hands in. Okay, there's 2 hands. It's a good amount, but that's better than it was last year. Last year I think it was like 4 or 5. Okay, next slide.
I have a clicker right there for you.
Oh, I have a clicker. Okay, so my name is Kayla Karush, and I'm the Marketing and Outreach Manager for the Student Engagement and Outreach Office. We cover several key SEO events, just 3, which is ASI Week, Block Party, ASI Daily Hot, which is a spring event, Thanksgiving Food Baskets, which takes place in November, Food Good Fun Days, and election events, and ASI Student Staff Awards. That's just the keystone events, nothing extra, no extra partnerships. Extra partnerships also include wanted to like Farmer Worker Awareness Week, Alternative Spring Break Corner Wellness Week, several other smaller events to support students, and Peking Ventures Open Climb. And so we keep ourselves very, very busy in our office. We also provide the KSSU student revenue station, Safe Rides, Food Pantry, and the heat activities and volunteer team that's run out of our office. So we keep ourselves very, very, very busy and wear many hats. I want to read the purpose of SEO, which is that the purpose of SEO is to provide holistic, student-centered programs and services that enhance student life and create lasting memories through community engagement, connection building, and creative exploration. Anytime any department comes to ask for my help or resources or services, I just make sure it's serving this goal and this mission, and I can say yes. So I have this on my wall in my office, and anytime something's asked of me, I just make sure it's doing one of these things for the students, and I can sign off on it. A number of services that we can provide to help and support your guys' strategic priorities, your initiatives, how you support your colleges, or anything that you guys have endeavored to do in this office, are providing event services and supplies. So obviously your department helps do your bookings and whatnot, but we have a ton of supplies because events is our thing all year round. So please find out if we have something that you might need before you go out and buy it, or before you go out and try to rent it from somewhere on campus. We might already have it free to use. I have access to promoting and recruiting volunteers for events. So if you need volunteers, have an incentive program set up to recruit them. We also provide communication, outreach, and promotion services. There is quite a long lead time. We do have a backlog and a queue that fills up right as the semester starts. So I'd say jump in line as quickly as you can. Promotion and product purchases. So if there's any need to buy something that's ASI branded or t-shirts, we can help you with that process. And then the KSSU DJ and PA services. So we can do PAs, public service announcements, podcasts that can all get run through the KSSU radio station. We can do the editing, we can help you schedule it, promote it, and teach you how to use the equipment to get it produced. This is a smattering of SEO events that we put on. Again, small sampling, but some of the big ones that you're probably going to see most frequently, you might be familiar. We just did speed running, we just did a block party, and we had our first free grocery pop-ups last Monday. Department supplies. So circling back, I have an inventory list that I will follow up with an email in addition to this deck. You'll get a link to my inventory list of all of the things I have available for you guys to use. I know that because the last couple of years I've been here, the board has done coffee and commuters. You have a coffee costume, you guys. I'm usually doing something that you guys can wear the coffee costume. I have tons of art supplies, camera equipment, tents, engagement games like the spinning wheel and other games. And they're all available to check out by the board. So event services and supplies. If you need help setting up an event, I am a really great resource. There's a lot of hoops to jump through to pull off an event on this campus. It is not as easy as booking a room and just showing up with your stuff. And there's so many rules. And luckily for you, I've been through a lot of those hoops. So I can tell you what you might be up against so we can help get your event closer to what you want it to look like without, keep running into walls. So I can take down a lot of those walls for you guys, and I'm happy to. I'm just at a meeting and put some time on my calendar, preferably 2 to 3 weeks before your event, not the Monday before. So I'll get your inventory list, and I have my contact information of myself and my 2 student event coordinators available. The Hornet event and activities team, a lot of you saw them in action at Block Party on Thursday. So we had a wonderful turnout. I think we had 27 volunteers come out, and they are just like a lot of this program is just amazing, you guys. There is a need for student connection, and there's a need for the want of volunteerism through fraternities and sororities who want to fulfill volunteer hours, classes that require volunteer hours and service work. And this is a really easy way to get community service on campus, and it's a really fun way to do it as well. So we put a call out for our bigger events. Hey, we really need help. Put up some sign-up sheets, and we just get all these great students to come out, and they're so wonderful. They're happy to help. They stay longer. They, start to sign up for a 2-hour shift, and they're there for 4 or 5 hours of their free time. They're just amazing, amazing people. And they do not shy away from hard work. I I love running this program. And we provide them snacks and meetups. So I try to do at least 2 a semester, because again, they want community, they want a chance to get together, and we keep hearing that from students, which is I want to meet other students. And I facilitate that for them, how do you create an environment where they can meet someone in a small group setting. Then I'm going to pass to Sasha, who's going to talk about our social platforms and outreach.
Hello, board of directors. So I know that I've already had the fortune of working with a couple of you guys already on some projects, but just as a reintroduction, my name is Sasha Margulies. I'm the Marketing and Outreach Coordinator for the SEO office. And basically, just as Kayla kind of mentioned, anything that you guys need when it comes to our outreach and social platforming efforts are going to always come through me. I know that especially for your guys' own platforms that you have, especially with your website and with some of your own individual promotions, we've already kind of gotten started working on that. And that's pretty much how the exact partnership is going to continue going forward. So anything that you guys need help with when it comes to Facebook, Instagram promotion, when it comes to your flyers being made, your headshots being done, things like that, that's always going to be going through us in our office, and we're always happy to help you guys out. One thing that I did want to note that is on this presentation is our newsletter. We are in talks of potentially moving away from the standard monthly newsletter that we already have set out, and we're looking to implement something else in the meantime, one of those being Discord. So that is something that we're kind of discussing at the moment and playing around with, and it looks like it might start working out going ahead. I'll have more information for you guys once that's set in stone, but just so that's upfront for all of you. And another note is we are also starting to slowly digress away from Twitter or X, even though that's listed as one of the platforms that we have on here, but I do want to make that known to you guys. If that's something that you guys use and promote, we necessarily in the office don't have that as a platform that we work with, but just so you're aware. So when it comes to the social platforms, whenever we have a good standing of what's coming up and what we need to be focusing on, or if you guys come to our office, if you message me, if you send me a message, or if you send a text or you call letting me know if there's something coming up that's not on our radar as well. Just some good outliers for you guys to follow that we like to follow as well for our platform when it comes to promoting board of directors is posting ahead about events and opportunities that are applicable to you and to your various needs. Posting the information that we need for these events, making it as outlined as possible for students so that they can come out and they know exactly what they're coming to. Helpful information on how to reach you guys, letting people know that you have profiles yourselves, that you are available, if not at your desk, then how to get a hold. And helpful ASI and campus resources that are just general across the board for all of us to implement whenever we can. Some general housekeeping, refrain from using the ASI logo as your profile picture. I know looking at your guys' profiles, I haven't seen that as an issue, but that's just good to know going forward, just so that way it doesn't get confused with our own official account. And using the ASI logo appropriately when we're posting any sort of graphics, or for doing anything for an official event on campus. And then when it comes to communication and outreach and just general promotional services, once again, that is going to be through me. If there is something coming up for yourselves or something that you would like SEO's help on, you would come to me. I hope most of you know where I'm located, down on the first floor in 1240. My office is right up front, or excuse me, my desk is right up front, right there in the first room if you want to come to me physically. If not, then you have my email here, as well as my phone number for the office. We also have an A team under us, a student staff of currently 6. We're looking to hire for another communication and outreach coordinator. So you will have 2 available coordinators at your disposal to help with designating some of that information out. We also have a photographer and videographer, which some of you are aware of as you came and took your headshots. And we have 4 graphic designers on team. So they are available to you guys to help out with design requests. I'll get into the flow of that if you were not aware, but we are always available to help you if you need to see fit. just so that's a little reminder again about some of the platforms that we have. You can disregard Twitter. So a project request that comes through us with graphics, so this is specifically for digital only, how the flow will work out. So once again, you will go through me just to reiterate, hey, I have this campaign coming up, I have this event, and I'm gonna need some help. So what you will do is get that through me, we'll get that approved, and it will be sent over to the project request job form. So this is available on our website. This is where all of our design requests officially go through so they can start getting processed. You will have this link sent to you through this pitch deck as well, but this is always available on our site. Once it goes through the job form and you fill out the various the questions on there, it'll go to our Basecamp, which is where our big project management setup is. That's where you can see open updates about the project that you submitted. It's capable of communicating as we go through if there are any notifications that you guys might have missed or something that you need to see get checked off. Our designers will physically put the proofs on there so you can see them as they go. And once it's all finalized, it will be shared on the drive. So the one that we all have access to, that will always be available both on Basecamp for your access as well as on the drive for you guys. And then with any assistance with print material, like Kayla mentioned, that is also something that we can help you guys out around with. We can't stress enough that the earlier you guys know about something, get it to us as soon as you can. Because the faster that we can get it, the faster that we can help with that turnaround. Because we get a lot of projects brought up and we want to make sure that we can get you guys what you need in time. So making sure that we have exactly what kind of materials we're looking for, whether they are digital or print, is going to be huge when you guys are putting in these requests. And the ways to market around campus via physical or digital. So we have all of our social media platforms as mentioned. We have the LCD screens that are home to us in front of the SEO office. We also have access to request for the Union and the Well office screens. We also have the Lassen Hall LCD screen, but that's kind of subject to approval. We have A-frames available. We have 3 locations around campus. So if we need half or full print for any of your events, we can also do that in office as well. We have a plotter printer that we can always print off of. We have bulletin boards where we can print and hand out flyers or different postcards, various size physical prints for you guys. And as most of you know, we do assist with various pop-ups and tabling. So we have that supplies down in our SEO office for you guys. And we also, besides just our general graphics team, we also have Canva access. So if for any reason a graphic designer cannot get to something and we need a quick turnaround on a project, or we just need something that's a little bit more low intensity for a project, myself or anybody else on our team have access to a Canva where we can assist you with graphics as well. And then lastly, we also have a little bit of time to go into how KSSU can help out with board of directors. So a little bit of run through about our student-run radio station is any current Sac State student can run their own radio show at KSSU. We accept students each semester and it's free to use. There's no experience necessary for any of the students that are applying, and they can all do it via an online application, which is available to them either via this link or on the KSSU specific website on the ASI site. I'm going to hand it back to Kayla.
Did you miss me? Okay. So, services that we offer. On and off campus organizations can book KSSU. So as you are thinking, working with your different departments and campus partners and off-campus partners and connections, think about how we can plug KSSU and get them, hired for some events, or if you have some budget to use for whatever street priority it is, you can book KSSU to be at your event with one of our student volunteers and DJs. They can scale, I remember Erin telling me this, so they can scale their system to meet any type of indoor outdoor system spaces. So like Black Party would be the higher end use of our speakers. We bring out like the big boy speakers on the big boy stands, and they pump music really, really loud. We also know we're very versed in the TPM, time, place, manner policies about noise and signage, so we can advise you on that as well. Booking KSSU does support the radio station and the opportunities that our DJs have to perform. So we do love to send them out into the field. And if you've ever seen Orlando sit and work his turntables, he loves it too. The need to know details is that there is an hourly fee to hope to have an event. It is lower than any market rate DJ in the Sacramento area. It is very, very affordable, and it is very good quality. If you need a request, you can contact Aaron Wall, and he's our student service coordinator, and he manages all the scheduling for that. And I will say, Gladys gets KSSU booked way ahead of time, so you should jump in if you think you're going to want them, because Gladys might have booked us already. She gets way out in front. Okay, so public service announcements. Why is this important? Well, you guys might have legislation that you want to talk about. You might have something in your college that you want to talk about. KSSU on the radio station it's a free way to promote whatever it is you guys are trying to talk about. And you can go through our student promotion and event coordinator to get those recorded, scripted, and out on the air for whatever it is you need, as long as it it's I can't remember what the acronym is for the people who police the radio. I can't remember what it is. As long as you follow the rules, you can get it published. And does anyone want to share something new that they learned about SEO?
I learned that you guys have a coffee costume.
My job is done. You gotta get someone in that costume.
Ashen?
Yeah, hello. Thank you for the great presentation, by the way. And again, thank you for just pushing your voice to the limits. Thank you for that. It's much appreciated. On the postcards, actually, so the way this works is there a specific budget per director, or they give us a budget and how does that work exactly?
Sandra?
You have strategic priority funds that you could allocate for this.
Alec?
Hi, thank you so much for coming here today and finding new innovative ways of delivering messages to students. My question is, can you send the slides to all of us so that we have some record of the stuff that SEO does? And the second thing is, I forgot the question, I'll ask later.
Chris?
Sorry, I'm a child at heart, and I saw y'all have stickers. How does that work? Because we're trying to bulk order stickers for certain, months for October. It's a little late for October, but for breast cancer awareness months and things like that. How long in advance would you need for stickers or promotional material like that for the full process of if we design it and give it to you, or do you design that for us?
We would design it for you guys because of these very specific specifications based on whatever printer you would have it. It would be think of it as a 5-week lead time, and that's if you know exactly what you want, or if you're willing to just leave it open and say, I just need 2 to 3 versions of this general sticker. Let's just say it's my name sticker. I wanted to say student government. I need 3 versions of that sticker, and then we present you with 3 versions, and we go through the process of that we really like, what we want to keep, version 2, final version. So you're going through 3 edits. And then to purchase them, we can make suggestions on a couple companies, or you could do the research of your own companies based on whatever you know your budget is. And they can print it for you, and I believe your department would make a purchase.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Soji?
Thank you for the presentation, and thank you for helping me out last week because I had so many demands of the event. So thank you. And I would like to echo on what you have said on the department supplies for all the college directors, if you are planning to have any decoration for your kickoff event, please reach out to SEO so that funds you can use for something else instead of spending on decoration. Thank you.
I do have a balloon arch and access to a helium tank and an electric balloon gun. So that's something that can elevate your event. But, we have 50% of it already. You just gotta go buy your special colors.
Chris?
Yeah, I just thought of this, but do you guys happen to have like a piping team that does like piping work and layout for, because when you guys do like events here, you guys have the drape? Yeah, the pipe and drape. Is that done, do you guys have, is that your department or is that like contracted out from someone else? So if we wanted to hire like a pipe and drape company, can we do that through you? Or is that like a different department separately?
I think I know what pipe and drape is, so I'm gonna say no.
Oh, thank you.
All right, any more questions? All right, well, thank you so much, Kayla and Sasha. Okay, now we'll be moving over to consent calendar. The items that will be moved over to consent calendar will be 2023-24-09-24, Maria Tong, Andrade Dominguez, Financial Committee appointments. 2023-24-09-25, Tong, Andrade Dominguez, University Committee appointments. 2023-24-09-26, Tong, Andrade Dominguez, recommendations to the President for University Committee appointments. 2023-24-09-27, Bolas, Tong, Andrade Dominguez, internal committee appointments. 2023-24-09-28, Vega, Tong, Andrade Dominguez, faculty state senate committee appointments. 2023-24-09-29, Vega, Tong, Andrade Dominguez, grade appeal panel appointments. And if there are no objections, are there any other items that will be added to consent calendar? Okay, if there are no objections, the consent calendar passes. Okay, moving over to our new business. The first item on the new business is 2023-24-09-30, Maria operating rule change 400.3 doc funding guidelines. Is there a motion? Sachi.
I move to approve 2023-24-09-30 Bahrain operating rule change 400.3 doc funding guidelines.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Sachi.
So as we discussed in the working board meeting, that the purpose of this legislation is basically to ensure that the ASI operating rule for 400.3 for doc funding guidelines are up to date within the current law, which is the repeal of AB 1887 travel ban. So on September 13, our Governor Newsom signed SB 447, which repeals AB 1887, the travel ban, which means that state funds may now be used for travel to all states, and then previous travel ban restrictions are no longer applied. So in the legislation, I only remove the number 10 for the denying the reimbursement request. So if student clubs has to travel to the 10 states, they can kind of ask for the reimbursement as well.
All right, is there any other discussion? All right, seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of 2023-24-09-30, Berea operating rule change 400.3 doc funding guidelines, please raise your hands. Okay, you can lower your hands. All those opposed, please raise your hands. All right, the item passes unanimously. Moving to our next item, 2023-24-09-31, Berea operating rule change 400.4 travel funds. Is there a motion? Sachi.
to approve 2023-24-09-31 Baraya operating rule change 400.4 travel funds.
Second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Saji?
Again, this has the same thing like the dock funding guidelines that we have used for the national championship funds and the national transportation fund, removing the travel ban language in this operating rule as well so that we can support the student clubs.
All right, is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of 2023-24-09-31 Berea operating rule change 400.4 travel funds, please raise your hands. Okay, you can lower your hands. All those opposed, please raise your hands. All right, seeing none, the motion passes unanimously. All right, our next item, 2023-24-09-32, Bolas Andrade Dominguez operating rule change 200.1, officers of the board of directors. Is there a motion? Natalie.
I move to approve 2023-24-09-32, Bolas Andrade Dominguez operating rule change 200.1, officers of the board of directors.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Natalie.
So how Veronica discussed at working board meeting last week, there was an addition to the strike policy to abide by our new student code of conduct. So it's just adding here at the bottom that if you don't meet any of, or if you fail to abide by any of the duties and responsibilities outlined in this of your sections of your own operating rules, and then number 17 adding that if we violate anything in our new student code of conduct, that each violation would be subject to a strike.
Madam President, under number 14, failure to respond in a timely manner. Could we define timely manner, please?
I guess I would
Natalie.
refer to what our executive vice president chooses since this is under her optional.
So you would want an amendment to add in, so we're just going to need to switch real quick.
If there are no objections, I can turn over the chair to my vice chair. Veronica, you are recognized. Okay, so under number 14, let me think. So before I make the official amendment, if we can just discuss what, because in my head, timely manner would be basically either 72 hours or the specific timeline that's put by the person sending the email. Like sometimes we'll respond to us by August, whatever. And so to us, we need a response by that time. Or if there is no specific deadline, then we usually have 72 hours.
So before we can discuss, you need to make the motion. And you can make that motion.
Okay.
It's a little long, but we can do that.
So I move to amend number 14 in the strike policy to state failure to respond within 72 hours
Unless otherwise stated.
unless otherwise stated.
Very nice. Second.
Okay, the motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Veronica.
So what do you guys think about that wording?
Hashem?
So what would be...
Okay, there you go. Oh, there's my voice. So 72 hours is the minimum, or could it be, for example, someone sending an email saying you have to respond by 24 hours? What's the minimum?
Veronica? So it would be 72 hours if there's no deadline that's stated, like if we don't give you a specific deadline to respond by, then just the rule of thumb is 72 hours would be the right time to respond. So you have, what is that, 3 days? So you have 3 days to respond to the email if we don't give you a specific deadline of when to respond. And you can respond earlier, of course, but that's like the max.
Natalie?
Can we just turn off everyone's mic and then turn them on when if you're gonna speak? And then I think it should actually be 48 to 72 hours. 'Cause I know sometimes with Emily and Herbier, they need a response quicker than 3 days later.
Is that an amendment? Are you moving to, so you need to move to strike 72 and insert 48? Oh,
How do I word that again?
I move to strike 72 and insert 48.
I move to strike 72 and insert 48.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Christian?
I was going to say, I second the 48 hours thing. I just think 3 days is a little too long, especially for getting back to people. So I'm going to second that.
Veronica?
I don't think we should do 48 to 72 because then there's no way to really hold someone accountable to that. If they did do 72 hours, then I'm doing another one. So I move to amend to 48 hours, to strike 48 to 72 and just make it 48 hours.
That's what her amendment was.
Hers was 48 to 72 hours.
So she's striking the...
No, she moved to strike 72.
Oh, and just make it 48.
Just make it 48.
Then never mind, then I
Insert
agree with that, yeah.
Okay.
Any other discussion, Bertha?
So can we add during the weekdays? Because what if an email is sent on Fridays and nobody's going to respond Saturday, Sunday, only if it's a deadline within the subject line?
Veronica?
So I move to amend it and say 48 business days.
Business
2 business days.
So, the problem is that you have Saturday classes and all that, and what's considered a business day. Sac State's business days are 7 days a week. You can state, and you can insert Monday through Friday, might be better.
Okay. So I move to amend and say 48 hours within Monday through Friday.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Michelle?
Yeah, so for some group invites, they are sent 2 months in advance. So how do you it's hard to determine in 3 days whether I would be able to make it after 2 months or not. There are many variables.
The calendar invite, so how can he respond to the calendar invite? What's the question?
Bertha?
Are you trying to say that the calendar invites, it will be hard to respond within the 3 days because you don't know your calendar within the 2 months? That's his question.
Calendar invites can be updated. Calendar invites can be updated later. You can always change your response. However, your initial response would be due within 48 hours, Monday through Friday.
Bill?
A couple of things. The comment about Monday through Friday, I don't know, it just seems like maybe this needs to be worked a little bit more, because if, in that scenario, if you're just looking at Monday through Friday, if I send it on Friday, that gives me 2 extra days, and then we're counting Monday. So it just seems a little interesting, versus if I send it on Monday, you have until Wednesday, but if I just sort of happen to send it on Friday, it's more days. I'm not understanding the Monday through Friday piece.
Bertha? So you would have to add, if the email was sent on a Friday, you need to respond by Monday. Because I don't think it should give you an additional 2 days, because that's a weekend, right? But I don't know, that's up for discussion.
If you're clarifying, yes. If you're debating, no.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Christian?
I feel like with the question you had, Bill, is like technically, since it says respond by, if you were to email me and say I need a response by Sunday, you can make it like urgent. I feel like anyone could, you could. I mean, I don't know if that clarifies it, or if that's something we can put in there, where if it's on the weekend, we can make it urgent, or if that's already kind of alluded to in the proposed amendment that's been added.
Alec?
Can we add a clause, something like if we have like a family emergency or what kind of emergency that we're out of town, that we can respond for a couple of days? In that case, the 48 hours would not be applicable, and we would inform the EVP to say like we can't respond, we're busy. But it's only like once in a blue moon kind of situation. And the second thing I want to ask is for Bill, do you work on Saturdays and Sundays as well, or do you consider them off days?
So that's already covered in our attendance policy. So, yep.
And then questions go to you.
Okay. Bill?
I work 7 days a week if needed, as the dean of students, part of my job. So just when I get up, I'm working. So, but I did again want to encourage. It just seems like we're using words like alluded to. Some wiggle room around the Monday through Friday thing with the weekends. I just encourage that. I don't know what the rules are with this piece, but it seems like there needs to be some more work to take some of the subjectivity out of it. Like for you to specifically define what this 48, 72, whatever that looks like, and think about taking the weekend out, not out. It just seems like it's kind of going in circles.
Chris?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this is supposed to be approved today, correct? I would suggest tabling it, because I feel like everyone has very valuable opinions, or postpone it, and so postponing the idea, just because I feel like everyone has valuable input, but since you guys have to approve this today, we can move it to like next week, or whatever Sandra says.
Sandra?
You can table the addressing question 14, but address 16 and 17, which were the part of legislation. So that is also an option.
Here's what you could do. As a chair, you could say, if there are no objections, we will postpone this motion, so it would just be this motion on 14, to our next meeting, and then you'll talk about it again in working board and bring it back to the next. So you can say that with no objection. That means that everything regarding the timely, the Monday through Friday, the 48 and the 72 hours, that moves to the next meeting.
To next meeting, okay.
Yes. So if there are no objections, try it.
Okay.
If there are no objections, we'll move to postpone item 14 till
Just this motion.
just this motion
To the next.
till next working board meeting.
Second.
With no
Okay.
objections.
With no objections, it has been approved.
So we're back to the original main motion, and I'm sorry that I caused that. But it did need clarification. You're back to the original.
Okay, back to our
Original motion.
to our original motion. We move to item
We're
20.
still on
20.
this one. The officers of the.
Okay, so we move to 2023 240932 Bullis, Andrade Dominguez, operating rule change 200.1, officers of the board of directors.
Is there any other discussion?
So any other discussion?
Let's vote.
Okay, all those, let's get ready for a vote. All those in favor, raise your hands. Okay, lower your hands. All those opposed? Okay. The item has been moved or passed with a unanimous vote.
Okay. So here's the fun thing. You can either stay here, or you can say if there's no objections, I return the chair to the EVP.
No objections, I return the chair to the EVP. Awesome. Thanks, guys. All right, moving over to our next item, 2023-240933, Bolas Andrade Dominguez, operating rule change 400.1, internal committees and work teams. Is there a motion? Natalie.
I move to approve 2023-240933, Bolas Andrade Dominguez, operating rule change 401, internal committees and work teams.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Natalie.
So like how we discussed in working board meeting, we thought that it would be best to just make it general for any board of director to sit on the internal committees. Because of people's schedules and stuff, we thought it was just too strict for execs to sit on one or board college directors to sit on some. So now it'd just be any board of director, and we had the discussion of adding it to Veronica's operating rule change, that she'd ensure that all the committees are filled regardless of this change.
All right, is there any other discussion? All right, seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of 2023-240933, Bolas Andrade Dominguez, operating rule change 400.1, internal committees and work teams, please raise your hands. All right, you can lower your hands. All those opposed, please raise your hands. Okay, the item passes unanimously. Moving to our next item, 2023-240934, Andrade Dominguez, operating rule change 200.2, non-voting advisory members of the board. Is there a motion? Natalie.
I move to approve 2023-240934, Andrade Dominguez, operating rule change 202, non-voting advisory members of the board.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Natalie.
So like discussed in working board meeting, we did some cleaning up to this portion where we removed the Transfer Student Association representative, as there hasn't been a representative on the board for the past few years. And then we just added the faculty senate rep to match what it says in our ASI bylaws. And then finally adding the presidential aide representative seat to our board, who we will hopefully be adding Shaki Moore, who is a presidential aide in the office of the president.
All right, is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of 2023-240934, Andrade Dominguez, operating rule change 200.2, non-voting advisory members of the board, please raise your hands. You can lower your hands. All those opposed, please raise your hands. All right, the motion passes unanimously. Yep, and Shaki, if you would like, you can go ahead and take a seat on our board. Natalie.
I'd just like to say that I'm excited for Shaki joining the board. He actually comes from San Diego State, where he was ASI president there, so he has a lot of knowledge on ASI. Now him working with President Wood is going to be a great asset, so very excited for him joining.
All right, so now we will move over to all of our ASI College Director reports. We will be giving everybody 2 minutes and 1 minute for questions. There were 2 reports that were submitted late, but I'm going to go ahead and give them the same amount of time as the rest of the reports. So everyone will be getting 2 minutes and 1 minute for questions. But moving forward, any report that is submitted any time past 12 will be deducted half time for speaking. So we'll start with our first college director. We have Christian Hunter, the Director of Arts and Letters. So remember 2 minutes and then 1 for questions. You can start whenever you're ready.
Hi everyone, I'm Christian Hernandez Hunter. I'm the A&L Director of Sac State. To go through I'm going to start with committee updates. The Social Justice and Equity Council, we had our first meeting on September 7th where we set up our goals for the year. And on the 25th, we discussed marketing engagement ideas for the council and started fleshing out our long-term goals. For my university committees, we have not convened quite yet. And as for the strategic priority updates that I've been working on, 1.1.1, promote and support inclusive excellence, anti-racism and inclusion campus plan. I've been recruiting individuals for committees and making contacts and encouraging people to join the Social Justice Equity Committee. When it comes to 1.2.2, promote and engage with the Equity Affinity Centers. I've emailed each affinity center so far, and I'm going to be following up next week of the 1st of October in person to discuss what ASI can do for them. For 2.3.1, engage, I've actually already reached out to Emily Tupper, to the Director of Wellness and Counseling, to set up an appointment to discuss a collaborative awareness. She seems very receptive to that. And as for the OGA 3.21, the support civic engagement, I've been in the process of renewing and creating the A&L Joint Council. There's been a mass recruitment effort, and I've actually made great progress of making recruitment. I've got maybe like 10 people, which is a pretty big deal. Oh, and lastly, so pretty much just to end it on a high note, pretty much when it comes to strategic priority with the security enhancement campus partner, I actually got together with Weave and they agreed to do a collaborative event. I'm going to be working hopefully with the ASI marketing department soon. But yeah, that's my report. Thank you, everyone.
All right, are there any questions? I have one. Do you want to add anything to so this is your chance to get 1 extra minute to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yes. Yeah, also to go through just like, the support, basically also with the joint kickoff, that's been kind of like my focus piece just for the A&L. I'm trying to get my college heavily engaged again. I just got Noel Mora and Steve Hansen to 100% agree to come to it. So if anyone's interested in coming to it, I really need turnout. Also, I've been meeting with the dean of my arts and letter department, and there's been a focus on advertising for scholarships. That's been the main concern, especially because our college is heavily impacted by this tuition increase. Besides that, thank you for the extra minute, and I'm going to yield if anyone has questions.
So we still have 15 seconds. Alec, go ahead.
So just curious, who is Noel Mora and Steve Hansen?
Steve Hansen is a mayoral candidate right now running for office. He actually was a city council member as well. And Newell Moore, just to finish my thought, is actually the current Natoma School Board member on the Natoma School Board.
All right. Okay, moving over to our next board report, we have Lynn Torres. She is the Director of Business. So 2 minutes and 1 extra minute at the end for questions, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Lynn Torres and I'm the ASI Director of Business. So first thing, a special note to Hornets. I just want to congratulate all of you guys for a great start to the semester, and a quick reminder that your well-being and mental health should always be a priority, and remembering to take study breaks and take time for yourself. It's all super crucial to your success. So first thing, some internal committee updates. I'm the chair for the ASI Green Team. And so for our first meeting, we just went over some goals that we accomplished last year and explored new ideas with collaborating with on-campus organizations. And for our second meeting, we finalized our committee flyer and confirmed a Peak Adventures cleanup and confirmed who to contact for water filler stations on campus. And I was also appointed to the Aquatic Center Advisory Committee and Transportation Advisory Committee. And so for my strategic priorities, we just confirmed our date for the Connections with Commuters event, and for the 3.1.2 strategic priority, I just promoted some board activities on my social media, and as well as a tabling event for the 3.1.3 strategic priority, and some highlights. I attended BizFest, the Stressless Cups event, and the More Than Just Scribbles art exhibition. It's really, really fun, and I really recommend attending. So, yeah, that concludes my board report. Thank you guys so much.
All right, any questions? Is there anything you want to add?
So for my kickoff event, the College of Business Dean is really adamant about gaining some student insight on the strategic priorities for the College of Business for the next 5 years. So I think that's where I'm headed for my kickoff event, and yeah, I'm really, really excited.
All right, any other questions? Alec?
Is there a date for the kickoff event, and how can we advertise it?
So thanks so much for asking. Oh yeah, so we're still planning the event, but yeah, I'll make sure to let you guys know so we can all advertise. Thanks.
All right, any last questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to our next board report. We have Sarah V., which is the Director of Education. Whenever you're ready.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. So I do have my general office hours if anybody would like to stop by, make an appointment preferably, and my contact information. And to have a special note to our Hornets, essentially I've been on campus for a little while. If you have any questions, feel free to connect with me, but most importantly, be sure to take advantage of all the services, resources available to you. Office hours, I've mainly been doing a lot of reaching out to students, serving in committees, trying to fulfill those university committees that Alec talked to us about during team board meeting, and a lot of planning, emails, social media, whatnot. For my internal committees, I was appointed to the Student Academic Senate, which we actually had our first meeting last week. It was a nice meeting. We got to meet the rest of the members for the committee, had introductions, discussed a couple of items. I was also appointed to the ASI Scholarship Committee, which I posted the flyer on my social media, and that should close on October 20th, so I'll hear more from the chair. For university committees, I was appointed to the Parental Advisory Committee, which we will have our first meeting on Monday, and the Intercollegiate Athletic Advisory Committee, which first meeting should be in late October. For strategic priority updates, I've been creating the Microsoft Teams so that we can start planning. I know some of the members have already began working on their priorities as well, so we'll definitely reach out and connect. 30 seconds? Okay, and tabling, I believe I've completed my 3 tabling hours. Meetings, I've been going to, retreat and whatnot, so events, and I did attend the COA Substitute Teacher Fair last Friday, which was a really good event, and I believe that is it.
Any questions? Do you want to add anything?
For kickoff, I do hope to collaborate with 2 more directors, Graduate Studies and Undeclared, so that's been in the works, but that's pretty much it.
I actually have another one. What is the reason that you want to collaborate specifically with those colleges?
Yes, so actually, when trying to reinstate do I still have 30 seconds? Yes. To reinstate my joint council, I reached out to the deans, and it's something that they're not very familiar with, and they did also explain how our student body for the College of Ed is very diverse. We do have a lot of graduate programs and only 2 majors for undergrad students, so the population is very diverse, and they find it a little bit difficult to connect as a college, and not so much, they identify more with their own personal programs. So it's a little difficult for the council to be reinstated. And so instead I'm hoping to reach them through the kickoff event. And so it's a little bit difficult for the joint council for my college to be reinstated, which I met with Veronica to discuss.
All right. Any other questions? All right, now we'll move to our next one, Hashim, who is our Director of Engineering and Computer Science, whenever you're ready.
Hello everyone, my name is Hashim. I'm the Director of Engineering and Computer Science. First of all, welcome to the board. I'm very happy and excited for future days to come. A special note to our Hornets, please don't feel shy to reach out to us. We're your representatives. If you're not going to reach out to us, then what's the use of us? For the internal committees updates, I'm part of I've been assigned to the Moral Scholarship Committee. There haven't been any updates yet, but I will do so once it happens. Next are the events I took part of. I took part in a joint council meeting with my officers and associate dean during the summer. Took part as a search committee for the HS director, which I was very happy to instate Rosa. And I also took the board retreat and sent out, as my first official business, I sent out Google surveys to students via Discord to assess the pain points that students carried from last semester. And what I did is I used the results, I used cost analysis to understand how far-reaching is ASI to students and their majors. And I took the results and I discussed it with my dean and associate dean with our first one-on-one meeting, which was on the 1st of September, where I met with the associate dean and team. And then I sent other Google surveys for other pain points, explaining more, discussing updates, etc. I've marketed all our events on Discord for the ECHJC Council and as well as ASI. One of them is the...
30 seconds.
Thank you. I volunteered with the of course, pop-up and presentations. I'm nearly done with all my presentations. What else? I tabled the block party alongside other members, and I met with the dean of ECS to discuss possible joint ventures between the College of ECS and the Carlson Center for Innovation. The idea is to have a program for startups and engineers to be hired. Yes, that's my time.
Is there any questions? Sachi?
Is there anything you would like to add?
Thank you. Yes, so within the meetings, you'll find that I met with the Carlson Center and Ms. Vaughan, who's the director of the career fairs at ECS. And I've met with my dean, and I'm trying to create a program, or promote a program, where we can bring startups in the Bay Area or maybe around the South region to hire students from the first and second year from the engineering community science. And the reason why that is important is because there's a high competition on positions, and many of them require prior experience. And to address that, we can start earlier with our students from first year and second year and have them get exposed to startups and enterprises.
All right. Thank you. Is there any last questions? All right, seeing none, we'll move to our next one. We have Rosa, our Director of Health and Human Services.
Hello, beautiful people. Yes, I'm Rosa, Director for Health and Human Services, and I've been having a lot of fun. If you all see me out there, I'm always smiling because I'm having a lot of fun, great time meeting the students, and I'm just trying to go to all the departments, specifically our ASI departments, and introduce myself and kind of see what struggles they're facing and what their students are reporting needing more assistance with. So I've been having a great time doing that, helping Kayla out there. She's always setting something up, and I always try to see if she needs any sort of help, because she does a lot, and she's very tiny, so let's help her as much as we can, please. Yes, so I attended the first Green Team meeting. The second one I had an excused absence for. I haven't had the opportunity to meet with my university committees yet, the Well Advisory and Institutional Scholarship, but I hopefully will be able to meet with them soon. In terms of my strategic priority updates, as my previous directors mentioned, we did finalize a date for connections with commuters, and I am willing to wear the coffee costume if you guys want. Yes, and yeah, that's it for the strategic priorities. I'm very excited that my joint council is up and running. They were great. We had our first meeting on 9/11, and they're just a really, really great, passionate group of students who are trying to do the best they can and have their voices heard. So my joint council is great, and I hope that you all are able to attend one of our meetings. We'd be more than happy to have you there. I am working with our amazing director of NSM to plan our joint kickoff event. Our date is still pending approval for our room reservation. And yes, if you all can see, if you scroll down, please, you'll see all the pictures I added just because I wanted the students and you all to get like visual representations. That first one at the top was my first joint council meeting, and those are all of our executive board members, and then tabling, our first working board, and then volunteering at the ASI Food Pantry pop-up. So thank you.
All right, any questions? Sachi?
What days and time HHS Joint Council met and where?
Yes, I can provide you the specific dates. There are a couple that we already have planned out, but the times are 4:30 to 5:15, and the meetings are going to be on Mondays. I just can't recall right now if it's every second or third Monday, so I would like to clarify that later on. Can I have 2 seconds to say anything else?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So as you all have seen in the office, I put a little get to know me paper on your desks. If you can please fill it out for me, it would make me very happy. I'm going to try to put it up in the office on a wall that we can all see and just get to know each other better. So thank you to those who have filled it out. And if you haven't, it's okay. I know that we're busy, but I would appreciate it if you could send it to me. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, seeing none, we'll move to our next one. Next we have Zana, who is our Director of Natural Sciences and Mathematics.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Zainab. I'm the Director of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Special note to our Hornets. Just congratulations to everyone on making it to the 5th week of the semester. As for my internal committee updates, I serve on Wellness, Safety, and Sexual Assault Awareness Committee alongside Alec. We had our first meeting on September 18th. Which mostly consisted of just committee introductions and discussing our goals for the semester, and we made a goal to create a comprehensive list of campus resources before our next meeting, which is next week on October 2nd. My university committees are the NSM Academic Council. We had our first meeting September 12th. I introduced myself to the rest of the council, which only consists of faculty. And we discussed changes that are being proposed to the NSM ARTP policy. Our meeting for this week was canceled due to several issues in the bylaws language, and they won't be addressed until our October 10th meeting. I also serve on the Anchor University Advisory Council, but we do not have any meetings scheduled as of yet. As for strategic priority updates, some that have been in progress are promoting board activities, which I've been doing on my Instagram account. Most recently, I've been working on promoting our scholarships, and I've tabled that one campus event, which was department days, and I'll continue working on the rest of my strategic priorities.
30 seconds.
I'll skip over the meetings and events, Some things that I'm currently working on are continuing to get acclimated to this position alongside school since I just started in August, and working with my new NSMJC advisor to get our joint council started again, and I'll be meeting with my dean in October. And I will be following up with my dean because we're creating a college newsletter, and we're also...
Do you have anything else you would like to add?
Yes, so my bulletin board is on the second floor of Sequoia, but since the new science building was built, nobody really goes to the second floor anymore. There's not really any classes held there. So we're working on getting a new bulletin board up in Shannon on the first floor, which gets a lot of foot traffic from students within my college. And I'm also planning my kickoff event alongside Rosa, who's the HHS director, like she said. And the reason that we're working together on our kickoff event is because her joint council is already established, whereas mine, I'm starting from scratch.
30 seconds.
And there's a lot of overlap within the clubs within our college because a lot of the students within my college are pursuing a career in healthcare.
All right, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to our next one. We have Isabella Jimenez, who is our Director of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies.
Hi guys, I'm Isabella Jimenez. I use an old template, so it's going to look a little different from your guys's, but I've learned from my mistakes. I'll make a new one next time. So as for news, I just want to wish you guys happy September. I've had an amazing time working with you guys, and I've met some of the kindest people. So to skip over that, I'm going to committee updates. I think we've been the most active in some of our committees that I sit on. SMO, we're working towards expanding our ASI outreach and transforming our website for transparency purposes and increasing board visibility. We've also discussed creating a mass survey that will outreach to almost all areas of campus, and we're still working through the logistics of that. For my next committee, I sit on the social justice and equity. We have come to an agreement for our goals this year, and our biggest goal, that is the one with the survey, but we will collaborate with SMO to get that survey out. That's, yeah, they meet at the same time, so. And then also, I sit on Faculty Senate, and our last meeting we discussed our class drop/add policy, as well as new census dates for refunds. And we made an appointment to the Curriculum Policies Chair, and because of that, the Curriculum Policies Committee has not met yet. We just appointed the chair. And then for my strategic priorities updates.
30 seconds.
This is the biggest template difference, but for promoting ASI, we're going to work heavily in SMO to find new and fun ways to engage with students. We've talked about using tiny mics. That sounds like a lot of fun. And then as for the council, we've been working on hopefully to engage and support our affinity centers so far. For my events, I have met with my deans to discuss transforming the joint council, and yeah, that's been so far, and I've just been working on my kickoff event.
All right, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, okay. So my kickoff event, I have a date set. It's October 30th from 10 a.m. to 12 in the Cottonwood Suite. It's going to be the spooky SSIS kickoff event, and I encourage you guys to join and wear costumes. I'm going to wear a costume, and I'm going to make club members wear a costume. I'm going to encourage them, not make them. But you guys should wear costumes and come. It's going to be so awesome. And yeah, thank you.
All right, any other questions? Chris? Quickly.
Okay, this is just a question. It's kind of nitpicky, but have you addressed the campus policy regarding costumes? Have you brought that forward to the people that you're asking to wear costumes?
No.
Okay, I would check on that because when we tried to throw something in housing, we got in trouble for violating some of them, and we got sat down with and just told about, so just be careful about it.
Thank you. Okay, I appreciate that.
All right, moving over to our next board report, we have Tinkle, our Director of Undeclared Students. Whenever you're ready.
Hey everyone, my name is Tinkle, Director of Undeclared Students. I have my office hours course, and then I have a special note for Hornets, I truly overwhelming to welcome all of you as we are in our 5th week and the campus life is nothing without you. You make campus vibrant, so thank you so much. And about internal committee updates, I'm in ASI Finance and Budget Committee. I appointed and we met on September 19, where we introduced ourselves to the committee members and discuss about the timeline and the students' employment grant. About university committee updates, I have appointed for the University Budget and Finance Committee. We're gonna have our first meeting on October 18. And the Friends of the Library, we haven't met yet. The updates on strategic priority, we are working on connection with the commuters. We met me, Rosa, and Sachi. We discussed on the connection with the commuters, so we're gonna have it soon. About the priority 1.1.1. Promote and support inclusive excellence, altruism, and inclusion campus plan. I have attended yesterday the Green and Gold speaker series, which was an interactive workshop, which was really amazing, and I had really fun with it. And about my meetings and presentations, I'm gonna skip that for now. And about campus event, I have attended lots of campus events this month. And I had really great time to enjoy with all the events. And I had 2 presentations and tabling. I did 2 tabling with the ASI Library Quad.
Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, so I did tabling at the block party and the ASI Library Quad. That's it.
All right, any other questions? Okay, we'll move to our next board report. Hisham, our Director of Graduate Studies.
Hi, this is Hisham, and I'm a graduate student representative from ASI. And so I'm always available during my office hours, and you can always reach out to me on from my email. And for my committee updates, I've been appointed to the listed committees, internal and universities. And apart from my selected committees, I have few ideas and comments for other committees as well, and I would like to share them as if time permits. I'll reach out to them. And my strategic priorities, I think, I have to start working on them. These were the events, various events I have attended, and I had the chance to meet with my graduate representatives from each college during the GSAC meeting, and we have created a Discord group, and we are willing to collaborate for our kickoff event. And the Office of Graduate Studies, the Dean is happy to allocate some funds for our kickoff. So yeah.
Okay, any questions? Okay, seeing none, we will now move to our next item, which is announcements. Are there any announcements, Chris?
So I have 2. One's more of an update than an announcement, but our first food committee was last Friday. We had a very productive turnout. We discussed the students' concerns about cleanliness in our dining commons and how UEI and Hornet Hospitality by Airmark is going to work on that, as well as if you're still interested to come out. They happen once a month. Please reach out, and I will direct you to our appropriate director for that. But our next one is I believe the weekend before homecoming, so the Friday before homecoming, so whatever that is. And then on the same Friday, before homecoming, the day before homecoming, I think it's the 25th, is the day before homecoming, we are partnering with KSSU, and we're doing the dance marathon again. So come on by, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a costume contest. So we did this last year. If you have questions about costumes, I would happily love to talk to you guys about it. Other than that, if you guys are interested in coming out to table in the quads of housing, please let us know, because we do have a lot of students that are interested in your positions eventually. And when we talk to students individually, a lot of them don't know what ASI is or who you all are. So I did have a recommendation that, well, if you guys do a student event to connect with commuters, maybe consider doing one for housing, because while they're on campus, it doesn't always mean that they know who you guys are and what services you provide and things like that. So it's just a suggestion, but again, if you're interested in the food committee, reach out. We have a couple other committees that, if you guys are interested in sitting on, let us know, and yeah.
Hashem?
Thank you. So, as you all can see, if we go back to one of the meetings I had recently, I met with Mr. Ryan, who works at the food pantry. And I would like to give a shout out to our VP, Veronica, who pointed out one interesting thing, and that is, as we vote into legislations, we forget that we run a big organization, and that as it becomes small in the eyes when looking at the paper, but when you go there in person and meet all the people who work there, you realize how much of a big organization ASI is. And it makes me appreciate also Sandra, how she runs everything together. It's very simple, I don't know. But which is why I yesterday met with Mr. Ryan, who works at the food pantry. I wonder to know how does his work day go on, what issues he might want us to address, what updates the food pantry is having, and I'm planning to move on with the Children's Care Center next. But for now, Mr. Ryan would like to share some things with the board, if I'm permitted to share with them some things or some announcement. Would that be fine?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, first of all, Mr. Ryan would like to say that he's grateful for the funding allocation for a fourth food pantry assistant this year. In the past, they have had 3. This has been incredibly helpful in managing the team workload and alleviates pressure on Mr. Ryan so he can focus on long-term programs, planning and improvements. Now, in the spring semester, and this I think is important for all of us, so in the spring semester, Ryan is supervising a PhD student from the Calmont Graduate University who is completing her dissertation in marketing interventions for campus food pantry users. Her study looks at how sending a postcard to Sac State students paired with an email follow-up will impact food pantry awareness and knowledge of food insecurity stigma. Much of the work of the food pantry team does center around reducing feelings of shame and empowering students, because these are barriers that a student will face as they decide whether or not to visit the food pantry or talk with even care's office. Nancy is asking for $1,000 to match her personal contributions to meet the necessary minimum sample size. Again, this is a graduate student who's helping the food pantry with her own personal money, $1,000, and assess what kind of marketing techniques you can employ to reduce the stigma around food, getting food from the food pantry. This addresses food insecurity, which surprisingly, when I met with Mr. Ryan, I was completely bewildered about the insecurity that we have at Sac State and the amazing job that the food pantry provides. And I think this is of an interest not only to the ASI board, but the Sac State community. Also, one thing that Mr. Ryan thinks will be very useful is to have the Sac State Institutional Research Effectiveness and Planning, or REP for short, that will be presenting to the board soon, that the ASI and the food pantry team would benefit from a dashboard hosted by REP to make key decisions and forecasts. He asks us, Mr. Ryan asks of us to advocate for a great working relationship with REP, which would be a fantastic part of the President's office and could tie ASI services with increased graduate rates and decrease delays to degree completion, because again, we're addressing food insecurity. And again, when I met with Mr. Ryan and he showed me the data, and he showed me the Excel sheets and the testimonies, I was amazed. I was truly bewildered. And the appreciation I have for their hard work and their volunteering is just incredible, in all honesty. Mr. Ryan would like to state stickers off to the board of directors who set up free groceries pop up on September 18th. It was wonderful working with us, and he had spots for all the board directors to take turns volunteering on the 4 remaining pop-ups. He asked to talk to Veronica for sign-ups. And that was, there's also the meeting I had with Mr. Ryan today and yesterday.
All right, any other announcements? Alex.
Hi, folks. So, something that I just thought of last week. A lot of my friends who don't really know the stuff that's happening on campus, especially events and what's going on day to day. So with that in mind, it kind of inspired me to do something about it. So starting next week, I will be posting weekly about all the events happening on campus, whether it be affinity centers, college departments, or clubs and organizations, to inform students about all the wonderful things that's happening on campus every day. I just want to have all the college directors send every single event that you know, either from your department or other clubs and departments, to send it my way so I can promote them.
Okay, I have a few. So scholarships for board should be available for pickup next week, per the request of Natalie and Veronica. We're not going to be mailing them out right away. We're going to have you guys come pick them up. So since we are providing you with that opportunity, please take advantage and come pick up your checks sooner than later. After they get mailed out, they get mailed out. Make sure you take a valid form of ID, and Emily sent out that email with those dates, so mark your calendars for that. In regards to SMO's presentation, when going for project requests, if you don't have prior approval from Saatchi, please don't go and share that you are going to be using ASI funds unless you have that approval, because that project request will not be approved. So before you request anything with ASI funds, it needs to be approved. If you want to pay out of pocket for something, feel free to do so. And then when it comes to any issues with paperwork matters, so scholarships, conflicts of interest, please don't wait to inform Emily and I. Let us know sooner than later so we can update and follow up as needed. If you didn't pick up your scholarship or you needed it and it wasn't there, whatever it is, please let us know so we can resolve that. Don't wait like a month and then come tell us. And then also keep track of your name tags and your pins. I've already had a few board members share that they've lost them. I highly urge, unless you're using your name tag for like a meeting, leave it in your office, because if they get lost, ordering those are a little bit more difficult. And after a certain amount, I'm not gonna try to reissue you guys new ones. So please be mindful of that, because that does cost money. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Okay, Mary Jess?
Okay, hi everyone. So just a couple of things on my end. So I love that supporting the anti-racism inclusive campus plan is part of the strategic priorities that y'all have. So I want to share a couple of opportunities that are coming out of inclusive excellence. So this coming Monday on October 2nd, the Office for Equal Opportunity is hosting our first Healthy Relationship Fair. So we are calling it Love Fest, a Healthy Relationship Fair. It'll be out in the library quad from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if y'all want to come out and encourage folks to come out to participate in that fair on Monday. Our next Green and Gold speaker event is also scheduled for Monday, October 16th. So I'm glad to hear that folks attended the one that happened yesterday and had a really good time. So the next one is, again, October 16th. And then something that I heard from several folks is wanting to collaborate with the affinity centers, which I think is great. I would also encourage folks to think about reaching out to some of our equity programs that are on campus. So we have some really valuable programs that work with specific groups on campus. For example, we have like our Cooper Woodson College program, which is through SSIS, as well as the Full Circle project that works specifically with Asian and Pacific Islander students. We also have other programs such as like Project Rebound, our Veteran Success Center, Parents and Families. So really thinking about, as you are moving forward with how to be inclusive of different communities on campus, thinking about what other equity programs there are on campus as well.
Rosa?
Thank you. I just wanted to say happy belated birthday to 2 of our board members. Belen's birthday was a couple weekends ago, and Alex's birthday was on Monday, so just wanted to wish him a happy belated birthday. We appreciate you guys, as well as directors. You all did a great job presenting your board reports. I know that I was a little nervous about it. I don't know if you all were, but we all did great, so I just wanted to call you in about that. Keep up the good work.
Sandra?
I just wanted to follow up on the spending. Remember that you have strategic priority funds, but you have to not just tell SETCHI, you actually have to file legislation. So if you want to spend any money, especially with SEO or to buy things on Amazon, it's a 2-week cycle. So you have to introduce it, defend your spending plan to the board during working board, and of course have it passed. So you can't spend $1 of your money without having it go through the board for approval. But the money is there. I do not encourage you spending your own money. You have the money, to spend in the strategic priority funding plan, but it does require pre-planning and talking to SETCHI, and then speaking up to SETCHI now, like if you're planning a big event in the spring, for example, saying, hey SETCHI, I want to put a hold on $2,000 because I want to have a cultural party, having those conversations, the earlier the better with SETCHI, so that she can be aware when people are coming to ask, because you also don't want to run out of money. We don't typically ever see that, but it's more along the lines of the planning that you have to do on the front end. Just like you have to plan to be able to get on the queue to get graphic design work done by the professionals, you also have to plan to spend money, because it's not just, hey, Javier, give me your credit card. It's, we have a legislation here that the board has approved in order for us to spend money. And second of all, this is more housekeeping. I've been washing dishes. I'm not aware of it being anybody's mother here, so I do request everybody to wash your dishes and put them away. I've had 2 sinkfuls of dirty dishes in the last 2 weeks, so I do really please, if you use a dish, you are welcome to use the dishes. It's a communal kitchen, but I really do ask everybody to clean up after themselves. Thank you.
Shaki?
As you can tell, I'm new to this, not true to this yet. But I wanted to say hello. Again, I did a public comment a few weeks ago, but I am Shaki. I'm a presidential aide in the office of the president, and I want to thank you all for putting me on this board. I really appreciate it. I do feel like I can be an asset given my history in ASI, but also an asset for all of you personally. I really do look at myself as a liaison from the president's office. I did not bring cards today, but I will next week. And if you want to email me or shoot me a text message, I'm in constant communication with Natalie. She's probably sick of me already. But I really want to be an asset for all of you in ASI in any way possible. So please let me know. Don't feel like you're bothering me at all. This is my job. So thank you.
All right, any last, SETCHI?
I'll be last. All right, I have 2 announcements. Scholarships are open for students apart from the Herbert Scholarship. So please apply, and it's gonna be due on October 20th by 5 p.m. And ASI Scholarship contains 16 ASI scholarships, 5 Dreamer Scholarship, 1 Disability Access Scholarship, 1 United States Armed Forces and Veterans, and 1 ASI Social Justice Scholarship, and there are ASI member scholarships as well apart from the this 24 scholarships. And then second, for the college directors, I have put my office hours on my doors, so if you want to discuss any financial stuff regarding your kickoff event, please come to that office hours. If you cannot make it, please email me and I'll try my best to accommodate any availability.
Okay, any last before me and Natalie go? Okay, so I have a couple, just because of some confusions with classroom presentations, so just remember you have 7 you have to do per semester, and I will be going through at the end of the semester and contacting the people, so put it in your board report what class you presented to and the professor, because I'm gonna contact them and make sure that they were done. Once you have sign-in sheets, so we don't get confused, the sign-in sheets are mainly for students that are interested in joining or learning more about ASI. So if people don't want to sign them, obviously you can't force them, but encourage people to sign them, and then once they're completed, put them in my box, my mailbox in the office. And then, what else? Okay, and then also, please get connected with your teams, because that's what we're going to use to communicate about strategic priorities. So anyone that's on a priority with me, I've already sent out Teams messages and I haven't gotten any responses yet. So that tells me that you guys probably aren't on there just yet. So let me know if you need help connecting to your Teams account so we can start communicating about strategic priorities. Because that shouldn't happen on text message. Next thing, there's 3 tabling opportunities coming up. So we are tabling at the Healthy Relationships Fair on October 2nd. There is one more time slot available from 12 to 1. So if you're interested in taking that, just respond to my email and you can sign up. I sent an email on that, but all the other time slots are filled. Outside of that, we have Pride Fest and Future Hornet Day. Each both have three slots filled, or 3 slots open still. All the other ones are filled. Remember that you do have to do 3 per semester. So I'm just going to ask if anyone has already completed their 3 to kind of take a step back and allow the other board members to jump on some of those opportunities. And if the board members haven't jumped on them yet and you really want to table at it and you've already done your 3, let me know. And then once everyone says they can't, then I'll give you the opportunity to do more than 3. But I just want to open it up for people that haven't gotten their 3 just yet. Bulletin boards, still a lot of really empty ones. So you guys, you know who you are if you haven't done yours yet. What else? Legislation. If you are planning on doing legislation, so obviously if it's money related, go to SECHI. If you are interested in doing like a resolution or anything like that, I'm just asking before we get, because we are going to do a legislation training with you, but if you want to do one before we get to that, please reach out to me or Natalie or one of the execs so that we can guide you through the process of it, because it can be kind of difficult if you've never done one before. And me and Natalie and such have all written them already before last year. So if it's legislation, we can help you with that, or a resolution. But I'm planning on doing a training with you guys as soon as we can, but probably a Wednesday after the board meeting. We'll all stay and then we'll do a training. And then I just want to reiterate what Hashim said. It is very, very important that we volunteer. So there's going to be coming the pop-up pantry, so the pop-ups that happen in the library quad. If you're interested in volunteering, I'm going to be making sign-ups for that every time as it gets closer. And then last thing, just a shout out. I want to shout out Christian. He brought a lot of students for committees at the last tabling, like a lot, and he sent them to us. So now we have, I think at least like 10 or more that we want to reach out to about that are interested in committees. And then shout out to Hashim. He has almost, or I think have already completed all of your classroom presentations, or you have like 1 more or something. So that's a huge deal. That's all I have. Natalie.
Okay, after this we're gonna have exec. So for the college directors, you guys are more than willing to stay. Again, you have a section where you can give public comment. And then for future references, if you do have like a big concern you want to bring up to the executive committee, but also as the person you will go to, she does have a section in the agenda where she can speak on y'all's behalf. So for further notice, if that's what you want to do, or you can say it at public comment at exec. But it's not a requirement. You guys can stay if you'd like. The next student listening forum for President Wood's 100 Days of Listening is October 2nd from 12 to 1:15. This one is in person in the University Ballroom. please let's make the effort to actively promote that as much as we can. Bulletin boards, classroom presentations, just put the word out and make sure you're providing the RSVP link. And the survey that went with it, I'm going to send you all an email with all that information. And then there'll be last one on October 30th, and that's more in the afternoon. So let's just continue to promote those. For the California State Student Association CSSA meetings, you all are required to go to one per our strategic priorities. And we said that if you want to go to in-person one, it can only be to the ones that are driving. So the next one is in Maritime, and that one is already fully booked, so no one else can go to that one. And then the next and last in-person one that is available for board of directors is the one in SLO, which is in January. So if you're interested in that, it's a first come, first serve. You're gonna have to let us know as soon as you can, because if it fills up, it fills up, and then you're gonna have to go to the virtual ones for CSSA. I also kind of want to talk about doing a tuition increase informational video or collab that we can all do, because there's a lot of confusion on the tuition increase and all that stuff, and it was a kind of hectic last week of how students reacted to that. So let's stay on top of that and just not, we blast it out in the beginning and then kind of forget about it. This is going to be a pretty big impact to students, so let's actively work together on how we can put the word out there on resources and stuff like that. So let's create a Teams chat with people who really want to focus on that. And then just lastly, the campus, the task force, the presidential task force on campus safety has already met twice. So I know there's a priority for a few of us to be working together, so I can take back some feedback that you all want to take to the task force. So let's make sure we get that ball rolling, because the task force already met twice. And lastly, please take care of yourselves. Remember your student first.
All right, any last announcements? All right, I adjourn the meeting at 3:46 p.m.